So with that out the way, let's get back to the excavation. We cut from Merrin finding the Pazuzu pendant to a very brief shot of the yellow sun against a blood-red sky. This is the second time we've seen one of these, and this time a silhouetted portion of the ancient city. Now I'm very confident that this shot is symbolic because for the sun to dip this low on the Iraq skyline would require the time to be either dusk or dawn, but the scene continues on and the sun is high up in the sky again, indicating midday. Also in this sunshot there's a tiny little detail that might be included for meaningful intention. Something flies above the city or is blown across by the wind, and its appearance and disappearance at the edges of the frame very closely match the duration of the shot. It's like the shot was edited specifically to include this flying object. Of course, if it's a bird, then such a thing wouldn't be able to be. Merrin drinks with a trembling hand. We strangely cut to two guys sat nearby, doing nothing except looking. Are they looking at him? And if so, why? When we cut back to Merrin, he's staring into some other realm, and the guy who was giving out the drinks through the weird hybrid animal spout passes between Merrin and the camera. It seems like nothing, but it's something that only tends to happen when filming if it's arranged to be that way. And Merrin's eyes respond to his unexpected presence. It's so subtle, and if nothing else, helps convey his paranoia. Then we cut to something else that seems almost random. A blind guy is being led somewhere by another man, and for some reason his mouth is covered by a sash. Like he's maybe blind and gagged, perhaps a little bit like cattle to the slaughter. It's such a weird thing to cut to, and it has no overt connection to anything. If it's symbolic, then who does the blind guy represent? Merrin and his feeling of helplessness? And who does the guy doing the leading represent? Pazuzu? I've no idea, but it seems too random a thing to include. So we cut back to Merrin from a different angle. Now pay attention here to the people passing in the background. A young boy, maybe a year or two older than Reagan, as was the case with the boy in the excavation scene, walks past holding up an image of what looks like an ancient god or some other person of importance. He's holding it specifically at an angle for the camera to see. The figure is coloured bright red, as the devil and demons sometimes are. So is this picture a subliminal hint of evil's presence? Note that later in the story Reagan herself will be producing drawings and sculptures along these lines. And all the while throughout this cafe scene the drum-like procession of metal forging clangs continues on. The scene ends with the guy asking if Merrin wants anything else, and Merrin says no. Again, the guy seems to be giving Merrin a penetrating stare, a little bit like the two guys who were sat nearby. Now we cut to a view of the hot fires of the metal forge, the fires of hell so to speak. An instrument or weapon or something is being forged by three guys, and now we can see what the source of the unnerving metal clanging was